What's good? We're on location again. I'm tripping off this mainstream media, and they how they covering or non-coverage now of the COVID-19, the C-19 dreaded virus. Amazing how they treating it like a little common cold now. But this just in, people are still dying. People are still getting afflicted, and people are dying even when they had the vaccine. So it's amazing how you look at all these mainstream media news outlets that they don't even cover it in that fashion like they did earlier. Um, it's like they have their agenda to cover things that you know, they say if it bleeds, it leads. Um, you couldn't get away from it. They had a death toll. They were tracking people who were dying, different states, graphs, all the whole 9 yards, and now you don't hear hardly anything. Where's Fauci? Where's all these people that were on TV on every other day, every other hour? You don't see them now. Why is that? Ask yourself, why is that? Now, I'm not saying it was a hoax, and anything like that. I'm not saying that at all. But do the math. You have to ask yourself one question: why is it not a priority to cover it now? Yeah, I guess we're used to the C-19 era, right? We're used to it just living with it. But where's the death track? Where's the state's death toll? The graph where it spikes here, there. Where's that at now? You know what I'm saying? You couldn't get away with it. I mean, you couldn't get away from it when this stuff first broke out. But I guess we now adjusted to it, and we should just act like we got to coexist with it, I guess. But it's amazing to me what they decide to cover and what is important. Just like the war in Ukraine, they don't even cover that anymore. You might get a bit here and there, but for the most part, it's not what's popping anymore. But they're steadily taking and giving assistance to Ukraine, a lot of money. They don't even cover it. Now it's all about the Trump, the hearings, and his minions. The January 6th Commission, committee, or whatever they want to call themselves, and even that's just a hilarious situation because they're wasting a lot of money. No one's going to jail. The evidence is there to make some type of arrest, whether it's former President Trump or Trump, whatever he calls himself. It's amazing what they choose to cover and what they choose not to cover. But what about the reparations? What about for African Americans, or should I say the Moors? I'm not using that terminology, African American. I'm not using that terminology, black, because those are all incorrect terminologies when it comes to discussing people of a darker hue. And it's just historical fact, and there's nothing white mainstream media can do about it, because the truth is the truth. It's in the Bible. It's in every book that they covered. The Torah, it's in the Quran, it's in the Bible, it's in the Gospels. So now everybody, as far as in the early centuries, a lot of nations were conquering different nations, and there was a slave trade. There was an African slave trade. There was an Arab slave trade. Colonial slave trade. The Spanish was involved with the slave trade. Spain, the Ottomans, and all that. But um, so we're not going to rewrite it. It is what it is. But as of right now in 2022, where where is the reparations for the Moors? Wasn't that on the table when Biden was elected president? Wasn't that one of his? Like, wasn't that on his agenda? But obviously, it's not now. We need to give us Juneteenth. Give us a holiday. It's amazing, man. Maybe I'm reaching. These are just thoughts. You don't have to take it serious. But these are just thoughts in my head. Like, I voted last Sunday, the early voting thing, and I voted, but for the primaries in Maryland. But there's a lot of okey doke that's happening, smoke and mirrors, and all this type of stuff that's happening, man. You don't see these people until these people that's on the ballot, on these voting ballots. You don't see them until it's voting time, and when it comes down to it, do you trust any of them? This is the same old game they play. They pop out every 2 to 3 years looking for votes. And the real thing is that only like 60% of the registered voters, maybe a little more than 60, but not much more, are actually participating in the vote. So what does that tell you? There's a hypocrisy with it. When I went to vote, I had my ID thinking that, I don't know, I thought that they were going to have some type of, your restrictions, this, that, and the other. They really wanted to check, cross-check, do this, that, and the other. And they do cross-check, but never once did I pull out my ID to verify who I was. They just asked me a series of questions in regards to my information, like address, birth date, what is the last four, what is the first four letters of your last name, and then a follow-up question, what is the first 3 letters of your first name? So that, that's the only question that was asked of me, information that they wanted, and then they directed me to someone, and they handed me the ballot to vote. When I voted electronically. But there's still some scamming and still a lot of stuff I can't trust in this country. And it's just about being aware and knowing what's going on. But don't get fooled, don't get swayed with a lot of this madness out here, because it's all madness at the end of the day. It's all madness. So I just wanted to come on and talk about that. But that's it for me. Early morning video, just discussing life. And hope everyone's doing well. Peace. We'll see you again. Peace.